to have, not to hold. You can have our kind, but you cannot hold on to us. We will not permit it. We are the archetypal individuals who you can experience, you can love, you can enjoy, you can cherish us, and so many other things. But the one thing you may not do is hold onto us. We allow you to have us because what we give you is constructed and comes at no great cost to us. Instead, by allowing you to have it, it enables us to gain those prime aims. By being generous with our supposed love, passionate with our words, highly desirable with our sexual prowess, charming, flattering, and all of those other things which you now understand are associated with our love bombing of you, we want you to have it all, at least in the beginning. We want you to have all our charm, our magnetism, and most of all, for you to have the illusion. Remember, it is only the small number of aware narcissists that know all of this, are aware of all of this. The majority of narcissists, being unaware, don't realize that this is what they actually want. This is what is being governed by their unconscious needs. But it is there all the same, and it is necessary for you to understand. All of the things that I describe here that we require, that we want, is either in the conscious mind of the aware narcissist, the greater or ultra, or the unconscious mind of the unaware narcissist, the much more numerous mid-range and lesser narcissists. We want you to drown in the illusion, become engulfed by the blazing lights and the soothing sounds, swamped by the seductive desire that we sweep across you like a tsunami. You can have it all, because the more that we give you, the more likely you will be carried away by this tidal wave of false love. The more sugar we pour over you, the sweeter the golden period, and it enhances your addiction to us. Naturally, the extent of how much you can have of us is governed by our energy levels and our capacity for control, so the experience is all the more fuller should you be ensnared by a mid-ranger as opposed to a lesser narcissist, and many more times intense should you fall prey to the greater or the ultra. You can have all of our time because it serves our purposes. You never make us do things. You never threaten, persuade, cajole, or plead us into action. The things that we say and the things that we do are only done and said because we want them. It is our decision, whether consciously or unconsciously, to grant them. You did not cause them to happen, and therefore we allow you to have all of our time as we monopolize your time because it serves our purposes. All of our focus is yours. You receive our near, undivided attention as we pull out all of the stops to seduce and to conquer. You can have our financial resources as we spend money upon you, even when some of our kind may not even have the money to spend on you, incurring debt, or using someone else's resources. We will take you to places, book interesting days out, tempting nights in, and utilize financial muscle, whether ours or borrowed from bank or devalued victim, in order to let you have the full-on magical experience that it is to be seduced by our kind. We will grant you access to our friends, which of course is merely allowing the facade to wrap around you and convince you of our apparent bona fides, our supportive and attractive coterie also giving of their time to you, praising you and welcoming you. We will allow you to have a route to all of our favourite things, although of course this is entirely manufactured in order to actually allow you to attach to your favourite things as we mirror your likes, your desires, and your hopes back at you. But it is still, of course, giving of us. The somatic and elite cadres will allow you to have us physically as the weapon of mass seduction that is sex is rolled out to delight you. You are apparently given access to our most intimate of levels in a series of steamy and orgasmic encounters as we utilize our well-practiced sexual skills in conjunction with the whole orchestrated seduction of you to create an intense and mesmerizing experience. We may move you in, a supposedly generous act, as we allow you to have that apparent closeness and regular time with us, all engineered, of course, to maintain the veneer of pleasantry and reliability as you become bound closer to us. In some instances, we may even allow you to have what could be considered the ultimate act of having, as we give you our seed or our womb for the purposes of the creation of a new life. Yes, by allowing you to have so much of us, we create the image of someone who gives, someone who sacrifices, someone who thinks of you before we think of ourselves, and thus you understandably fall for this, driven by your unawareness of narcissism and your unawareness of your rising addiction to us. You truly believe that you have us. You do have us, but it is for, in the scheme of things, but a fleeting instance, a mere moment in the vastness of time, and for all of its wonder and brilliance, you are allowed to have us, but you cannot hold us. We cannot allow this to happen because we will turn matters around in order to ensure that our desire for control and our hunger for fuel is addressed, in order to cater for our slavish devotion to the maintenance of superiority, and in order to assert our right to do as we please, when we please, how we please, and with whom we please. You cannot hold us. You cannot keep us. We regard ourselves as that omnipotent force that is not beholden to boundaries, constraints, and bondage. You have no say over what we may do. You are not there to impose your rules on us, keep us in check, or prevent us from seeking out what we need in order to maintain our existence. Indeed, the prevention of you keeping us is material in ensuring that the threat of our departure is something that keeps you working hard to please us, to provide that fuel, be it positive or negative, and to allow us to keep you just where we want you. We can keep a hold on you, of course. That is the nature of the narcissistic covenant, but as usual, what applies to you will not apply to us, and vice versa. We maintain that hold over you because you, in our world, belong to us. We make the decisions. We choose. We execute and operate. We are not there to be bound to one person, and especially one which will invariably fail us. We consider ourselves as beyond such things, and therefore the notions of faithfulness, fidelity, and monogamy are cast out as evicted tenants from the house of narcissism. We, of course, want you to try to hold on to us. That is a part of the game. We want you to strive to keep us, to exert your every waking moment to clinging on to us, but it can never succeed. We are programmed to reject that desire to keep us as you want us to be. There is no hope for it to happen, but we will, as ever, give you that false hope through the respite periods and the periodic resumption of the golden period. You are led to believe that you have managed to keep us, that you can continue to have us and to hold us, but it will not last, and it cannot last, because the concept of being beholden to you and just you ultimately runs contrary to our needs for the prime aims. And, as you are now well acquainted with the idea, our needs must always come first. We decide when we come back. We decide when we hoover you. We decide when the false and manufactured love is shown to you again. We decide when you get to see us, get to speak to us, and receive our attention, seduction, fury, or disdain. We must behave this way to shore up the notion of being the one who calls the shots, who makes the decisions and pulls the strings. Because we are not allowed to contemplate what would happen if we allowed you to take hold of matters. To do so would be a loss of control, and that must never be allowed. We will always let you have us, but you will never be allowed to hold us.